Hey guys, welcome back to the Curly Reader. My name's Amanda, and today I want to share with you the books that I added to my Goodreads TBR in the month of August. All right, so just like some of the previous months, I don't have a whole lot to share with you today, but I do have 4 books that I added to my Goodreads TBR. If you're new around here, these are videos that I do to share with you books that have kind of been put on my radar that I'm adding to my Goodreads TBR, books that have already been released. These are not books that are coming up for release. I'll cover those in my most anticipated releases. These are also not books that I'm buying for my shelves. I do that in my book hauls. So these are just books that have been out that are now put on my radar that I'm adding to my Goodreads TBR. And I also like to share with you where I hear about the books from so you can check out these sources as well. So let's get into the 4 books that I added to my Goodreads TBR in the month of August. The first of which is The Life We Bury by Alan Eskens. This is a book that Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library talked about in a live that we were on together on Krista from Books and Jam's channel. So that was a lot of information. But we did a live, a few of us did a live on Krista's channel, and Lindsay was talking about this book, and so I ended up adding it to my TBR. And this is the story of a college student who has an assignment, a writing assignment, to interview a stranger. And so he goes to a nursing home to find somebody to interview and ends up finding this gentleman who is a Vietnam veteran, and he's also a convicted murderer. He has been paroled for medical leave. He only has a few months left to live, and he's now in this nursing home. And so this college student starts interviewing him and hearing his story about Vietnam and reconciling the heroism that he hears about from Vietnam with the conviction. He's convicted of rape and murder. And so kind of reconciling those two things together and what that entails. So Lindsay spoke very, very highly of the book, and so I think I would like to check it out. So anyway, that's the first one for this list. The second book that I added to my Goodreads TBR is Clash of Steel by C.B. Lee. And I added this one to my TBR after reading So Many Beginnings by Bethany C. Morrow last month. So Many Beginnings was a Little Women remix, and Clash of Steel is a Treasure Island remix. And so this publishing group, I don't remember who it is releasing these remixes of classics, and there are diverse remixes. So Many Beginnings was about a group of 4 Black sisters during the Civil War, or towards the end of the Civil War. Clash of Steel is set in 1826 in the South China Sea, and the 2 main characters are 2 girls, and so it's just a different take on Treasure Island. And there is a bunch of these that are coming up for release over the next couple of years, everything from Wuthering Heights to Great Gatsby, different things like that. Robin Hood, I think, is one of them. So, and they just kind of are various diverse takes on these classics. So I ended up adding this one to my TBR because I thought that it would be interesting to read a different take on Treasure Island. All right, the third book that I added to my TBR is Kiki Kaliri Breaks a Kingdom by Sangu Madana. I heard about this one from Amy Bowman's channel. She has a channel here on YouTube, and she gets a book subscription box from a small bookstore, I think, and this was the book that was in that subscription box. This is a middle grade book that is about a girl with pretty severe anxiety, I would say. It says she's a worrier. She just worries about everything to the point where it becomes consuming, and she also really, really likes to draw. And then one day she falls into the drawings or something like that, and she's living amongst the reality of her drawings. And so it's just kind of about that. It sounds like it's a different take on Inkheart. So yeah, we shall see, but it sounded really interesting. I have a daughter who loves to draw, who also suffers from pretty severe anxiety, and so I thought this would be maybe one to recommend to her as well. And then the last book that I added to my TBR in August is Thanks for Voting by Erin Geiger Smith. Sorry, I have my cheat sheet down here. Erin Geiger Smith. This is one that I heard about from the Instagram account Sharon Says So. I'm sure a lot of you probably follow her, but I'm sure a lot of you probably have never heard of her. She is a former government teacher who just talks a lot about politics and current events and the news from a very non-biased point of view. So she's extremely non-biased. I really, really enjoy her Instagram account and following her. But this is a book that she had suggested reading. And it is basically, I think the subtitle is something about the truth behind voting in America. And it talks about the history of voting equality and the voting rights and things like that. And also looking towards the future. So it talks about the history of it, kind of present day, why so many people don't vote in the US, and the future of voting as well. And I just thought that that would be really interesting, especially, considering the current state of politics in the US. So anyway, those are the 4 books that I added to my Goodreads TBR in August. If you've read any of these, I would love to hear your opinions about them down below in the comment section. And yeah, let me know some books that you've recently added to your TBR as well. And I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you stick around and subscribe. And until next time, see ya.